Good morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. We're coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. As people living in this digital era, you and I very well know just how frequently we check our social media platforms, just maybe even to keep in touch with our loved ones or even to get to know what exactly is going on around the world. Now, last night, Meta, which owns multiple popular social media platforms, faced a global outage affecting thousands of social media users across the world. And this is our top story for this morning. Let's dive right in. Instagram and WhatsApp are now back online after a mass global outage affected multiple Meta-owned apps yesterday. Facebook has yet to confirm whether all its issues have been resolved. Over 22,000 people reported issues with Facebook on Wednesday evening, and over 18,000 struggled with WhatsApp. Problems with the apps were reported in the UK, parts of Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, as well as the United States of America. Soon after users reported issues, Meta said it was aware of a technical issue and that was impacting some users' ability to access their apps, and said it was using to fix things as soon as possible. A variety of issues were reported, including not being able to use the apps at all or feeds not refreshing for certain users. Meta's platforms are some of the most popular in the world. Facebook has over 3 billion active users, for instance. The biggest outage Meta experienced was in 2021, when founder Mark Zuckerberg apologized for the disruption that was caused through that outage. On that occasion, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp and Instagram services went down for almost 6 hours. Let's move on to local news for this morning. U.S. Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chung, has stated that the United States will support the new government's anti-corruption measures. She made this statement last evening when she visited the Malvathu and Askiri Mahavihara in Kandy to meet with the Mahanayaka Theros. The ambassador first visited the Malvathu Mahavihara. She called on the Mahanayaka of the Malvathu chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Thibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thero. Let's take a look.
We very much respect the cultural heritage of Sri Lanka, and in addition to the Kandy Palace, through the years we have helped protect and preserve many of your other sites, also including the Rajagala Monastery near Ampara and other Buddhist holy sites as well. Well, we work with every Sri Lankan government. We will do our best to work with everybody. But it's true, yesterday we designated 2 corrupt officials. We do this every year around the world. We take the most extreme corruption cases and then we ban them from entering the United States. So this was in the works already before this government was coming into place, and we will continue to help find tools and ways to help the new government address corruption. But the president did win with a very large mandate. What do you think? What do you advise the government should focus on? But we're looking for other ways to boost agricultural modernization and rural development, because we heard from President AKD recently that those were some of his top priorities.
The U.S. ambassador to Sri Lanka thereafter called on the Mahanayaka of the Askiri chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Varakaguda Sri Gnanaratana Thero. Meanwhile, South Korean ambassador to Sri Lanka, Myeon Lee, met with Speaker Ashoka Ranwala recently at the parliamentary complex of Sri Lanka. Secretary General of Parliament Kushani Rohanadira also joined this meeting. The South Korean ambassador stated that they would continue to strengthen the long-standing relationship between South Korea and Sri Lanka and provide support for Sri Lanka's development. She added that South Korea is ready to work with the new government to expedite ongoing projects in Sri Lanka. She further went on to note that the construction of the Kandy Tunnel project is also now in its final stage. Speaker Ashoka Ranwala stated that he hopes to further strengthen the relations between Sri Lanka and South Korea and expects South Korea's support in this regard. Let's take a look at the meeting that took place between the Speaker and the South Korean ambassador to Sri Lanka. Let's move on to more local news for this morning. The Welfare Benefits Board says that the Aswasuma allowances for the month of December 2024 will be deposited in the bank accounts of the beneficiaries today. Issuing a statement, the board added that 1,707,311 families benefit from this Aswasuma social welfare program. 11 billion rupees has been allocated for this purpose. Due to the adverse weather conditions, the Aswasuma application deadline was extended from the 2nd of December to the 9th of December. Meanwhile, police say that reports circulating on social media and print media that an individual who allegedly injured 3 police officers with a sharp weapon during a protest held opposite the Ministry of Education on the 2nd of December is an Army intelligence officer is false. In a statement, the police media division stated that there were false reports that the Thalangama police had informed this to the Kadwala Magistrates Court. According to investigations carried out by the Thalangama police, no information has been revealed that the injury was caused by an Army intelligence officer. The Police Special Investigation Unit has launched an investigation on the order of the Acting Inspector General of Police as to whether the officer who appeared in court that day made such a statement. The protest was staged by a group of school development officers demanding teacher appointments. Let's move on to a weather update for this morning. The Met Department says that the low pressure area over the southwest Bay of Bengal is very likely to continue to move west-northwestward slowly towards the Tamil Nadu coast close to the north of Sri Lanka during the next 24 hours. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the northern, north central, eastern, northwestern and western provinces. Fairly heavy showers of about 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the northern province as well. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places elsewhere over the island during the evening or night. Misty conditions can be expected in the central, Sabaragamuwa, southern and Uva provinces during the morning hours. The general public, as always, is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Let's take a look at your marine weather update for this morning as well. The deep and shallow sea areas of the coast extending from Putlam to Mulathu via Mana and Kankasanture will be very rough, too rough at times, and the sea areas extending from Putlam to Galle via Colombo can be fairly rough at times. The Met Department says that other sea areas around the island will be moderate. Temporarily strong gusty winds and very rough seas can be expected when the island experiences thunder showers. Shifting your attention to news overseas for this morning, a Taliban refugee minister Khalil Haqqani has been killed in a suicide bombing inside the Interior Ministry in Kabul, the movement's most high-profile casualty since it returned to power in Afghanistan in 2021. Interior Ministry sources said 6 others died in the blast as Haqqani was leaving his office. Khalil Haqqani was a top member of a powerful faction in the Taliban called the Haqqani Network and was designated a global terrorist by the United States of America. This Islamic State group, or IS, later claimed responsibility for this suicide bombing. While the overall security situation in Afghanistan has improved since the Taliban gained complete control with the full withdrawal of foreign troops in 2021, there continue to be dozens of bombings and suicide attacks in the country each year. We also have a sports news update coming in this morning. In sports, it's football. The World Football Governing Body FIFA has confirmed that the 2034 Men's Football World Cup will be held in Saudi Arabia, while Spain, Portugal and Morocco will be joint hosts for the 2030 tournament. 3 matches in the 2030 tournament will also be held in Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay to mark 100 years of this competition. The hosts for both World Cups were confirmed at Wednesday's extraordinary FIFA Congress meeting following a vote. All 211 of FIFA's member nations were represented at the meeting over a video link. The hosts for both tournaments and the 2030 centenary celebrations were confirmed via 2 separate votes. The first elected Uruguay, Paraguay and Argentina as the centenary hosts. The second meeting confirmed the 3 hosts for 2030, as well as Saudi Arabia being awarded the 2034 tournament. Saudi Arabia, however, has been accused of sports washing in the recent years, using using its unprecedented spending on sport to improve the oil-producing kingdom's reputation over its human rights record as well as environmental impact. Out of the 15 stadiums identified to hold matches at the 2034 World Cup, 4 stadiums have been built so far. Well, that brings to a close this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. I'll see you once again tomorrow at 7 a.m. right here on TV1. Until then, take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.